So you may have heard of Juice Plus. If you're not familiar with Juice Plus, welcome. We're not a juice. We're not a vitamin company. We're a food innovation company. I've been around a long time, been around 29 years. And as a food innovation company, we focused on one central thing. That's just plants, trying to bring technology and innovation in consumer goods and growing systems. Here's a growing system you see, that's our technology, but we're ultimately just an innovation company focused on just plants. And we're timely, we're trending, but I like to say we're timeless. And what I mean by that is we started 29 years ago in the early 90s with this idea of pioneering health food. And this is kind of our origin story. A bunch of guys were together and they had this invention, this idea. It was patented, it was proprietary, and they were pioneers. And they set off to pioneer some new health food at the time. And they focused on plants that brought innovation to bear, putting technology at the service of beautiful food. And more recently, this new term, functional food. We're a functional food leader in the marketplace of ideas. And what the heck's functional food? It's a fancy word just to say it's food on purpose. You're taking it for a reason. You're taking it for an outcome. And we'll unpackage that a little bit more here in just a minute. But as a functional food leader, there's a lot of categories in functional food, and we're best in class within health food and plant food and functional food in our lane. And we've tried to stay in our lane for 29 years, and we're the best for the world in our lane. And the world's going to know of us because of plant powders. The world will know of the Juice Plus company because of the pioneering innovation leadership we've brought to bear on the category of plant powders. And this is what we do. We provide daily plant food support with shakes, concentrates, and oils around these categories: fruit powders and veggie powders and berry powders and plant omegas. But for 29 years, we try to stay in our lane and be the best for the world in that. And again, it's just plants. So what does daily mean? Plant food support mean? What does that mean? I'm just going to take you through that. And just as context for that, it's safe, it's sensible, it's beyond organic. That's just a holding bucket to say it's vegan and non-GMO and all that safety kind of things that you're concerned about as a consumer, right? But in terms of daily plant food support, I'll just kind of unpackage it for you. And as a health and performance company, we all kind of know that health and performance gets down to brass tacks and what you're the daily do and the daily habits that compound over time. And what we as a company have focused on is the number one daily eating problem in the modern world. You know it is 5 a day, and the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, says that 90% of us fail to do that every single day. And the Center for Disease Control defines health as the absence of disease, but health is much, much more than that. Enter the USDA, and they say functionally more matters. Round up, right? More than 5 servings a day. That's for Joe and Jane average minimum to prevent disease. But if you're off the couch doing stuff, these are the daily minimums, the recommended daily minimums. And we understand what this means: fruits and vegetables, nutrient-dense foods, plants, fruit and vegetable consumption, the daily do. But we understand what it means for performance. But how do we understand it as it relates to our ability to perform, right? Your own ability to perform. So I'll unpackage that around just a singular conversation that you can have with anyone that speaks to anyone, and it's around this word. So if you want to write this one word down, this is think of this as the physiology spectrum, the spectrum of physiology. And you can have body breaking bad, going the wrong way, or leveling up and going to the right. And all these words you see in the physiology spectrum are states. They're simply states of physiology: a poor state, a healing state, homeostasis, just health without disease. But I like to talk about durable health, right, as a bit more advanced, rigorous form of health. And then a fit state of physiology, peak state of physiology. So you can be a pregnant woman, you can be a baby boomer, you could be a grandparent, a teenager. Do you want peak physiology, peak state for your own bell curve, right, for your own game in life? And so when it gets to the drivers of lifestyle: eat well, move well, think well, sleep well, we focus on the food bucket. Food functionally does 3 things in our body: it fuels, it builds, and it conditions. And that might be a new term to you, but the fueling and the building we're very familiar with. It's carbs, proteins, and fats, and macronutrients. The conditioning part of the equation, right, comes in the micronutrition bucket, where plants, that's their wheelhouse. Plants fuel, plants build, but the conditioning element is where human performance is really being discovered. And human performance can be pregnancy. Human performance can be better circulation for a diabetic. Human performance can be more energy all day for parents. Human performance, it's just getting the body to work and work better and optimize and level up. It can be greater recovery for an athlete, but the word performance is really, should be democratized. Everyone wants more gain, right? And so what fueling does is give us energy, and building matter, proteins and amino acids, but the conditioning, it conditions physiological function when it comes to healing, physiological function when it comes to durability, peak state, across that whole spectrum, wherever you are. And you can kind of guess, where you'd like to be on the spectrum. Most people want to stay right or move right. And so in the 20th century, we learned about kind of that deeper level, those deeper level gains that occur inside the body through vitamins and minerals. And as Dr. Mitra, advised me long ago, it's kind of like black and white TV, vitamins and minerals, and it's kind of the multivitamin, or it's, the multivitamin is the nutritional equivalent of the minimum wage, right? It has nothing to do with peak physiology and optimizing physiology. And as we've learned in the modern era, in the tens of thousands of molecules that play out inside whole food, from antioxidants and biotics and metabolites and vitamin, so all of these molecules, just-in-time inventory for the body. And as you see these little yellow dots across the spectrum, every one of those little yellow dots is a micro gain if you're moving to the right, or it's a micro loss moving to the left. And a lot of times these gains and losses are what practitioners will call subclinical, like it's deep inside your physiology where you can't see it, touch it, taste it, feel it until it's too late, and or it compounds long enough to manifest in some sort of external outcome. And so I speak of conditioning for anyone with nutrient-dense foods, with nutrient-dense matter. You see beets here, and then you see beet powders here. And what both of these food groups do is give you systemic advantages if you do daily over time. And what I mean by systemic advantages is a whole heck of a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. Now, there is a lot going on in this slide because there is a lot going on in your body. These are systemic, deeper level, it's just biochemistry across your organs and systems and molecules and organelles that produce function, right? Deliver physiological function across that physiology spectrum. So as I said, I don't really care who you are. You're a patient, you're a pauper, you're a preacher, you're a professional athlete, you're a pregnant wife, a pregnant wife, you're a pregnant mom, a yoga Jedi, an in utero baby. All of this stuff works, whoever you are. So you kind of get the picture here. And so we as a health food company have focused on that central matter. I'll just go back real quick. So the difference you see between these beets and these beet powders is just the removal of water. Now, you probably already understand that these beet powders are not a vitamin pill, but it's just matter that matters. And that was the central sort of aha moment idea, that think different approach that our company set off on 30 years ago around plant food and technology, right? Patented proprietary stuff around, at the time, they didn't know that word, but functional food, which is a technical term I'll unpackage a bit more, keeping it clean. And as I said, our lane, we try to stay in our lane. It's around the food categories of plant powders, plant powder concentrates, and plant oils. And so we as a company, we offer the marketplace of ideas a choice. You can do a not food support approach, or you can do a food first support approach. You decide what makes sense. And the poster child of the not food approach is kind of the multivitamin daily do, but we offer a different daily do, which is plant food, right? And the category of functional food, you can Google it, you can go down the rabbit hole and do your own homework, but functional foods can be a lot of different things. This is a position statement from the American Academy of Dietetics, nutritionists and dietitians. And this is what they say about functional food. But if you think about it, it's just tea, like green tea is a functional food. Fermented foods are functional foods. spices, herbs. These are all different categories. And our category, being plant powders, now you can maybe place us correctly in the pantry shelf of your brain to say, we bring rigorous, and then kind of that bold words at the end. We bring rigorous scientific substantiation and evidence and efficacy to our little lane of plant powders. And so what you see here is the number one selling global leading functional food in the space of plant powders. It's the Juice Plus vegetable, berry, and fruit blended powders, right? Across all of these different fruits, vegetables, and berries that we harvest, juice, dry, clean. And, that's what we do. We harvest them, freeze it, juice it, dry it, put it through a quality control, test it, certify it, blend it, encapsulate it, and then we ship it to you and you eat it, right? And the encapsulation process prevents, gives it an oxygen barrier, at which, oxygen degrades food. And so there's a lot of, thinking in food science. Think of this as a food science technology. So our lane, this is our flagship product, fruit, vegetable, and berry powders. We do have plant shakes, macronutrient plant shakes that fuel, build, and condition, and then plant omegas. And those are the lanes that we pioneered and lead the world in. And in terms of kind of outcomes and how we put it on the field of play, this is a program that we have that we've put 2 million children through and 2 million adults through. We've collected data on 4 million participants. So if you do the math here, we have, 2.5 million, close to 2.5 million people eating more fruits and vegetables because of this plant powder intervention, right? Seeing the doctor less, taking less medications. I call it the best deal in health food. So you want to learn that from the person that shared this with you tonight. We're sensible. That's one of the first things that got my attention 20-some years ago. Like, this makes sense, like ruthlessly practical. You know what to do. People know what to do. They just need more help doing it. And that's where we use technology and innovation to try to, as I say, cram more plant matter that matters, into people. And we're proven, right? You're not sticking your neck out, taking a flyer on this thing. This is not an experiment. We know what we're doing. And in terms of speaking the language of modern medicine, here are, 40 plus clinical studies. Most of them are randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole and read this stuff, knock your socks off. Kind of presenting what I want to share with you is just kind of the forest we have across the human body. All of this plant matter affecting all different kinds of humans, be they athletes or old people or smokers or overweight or children or whatever. And I'm just going to blast through this slide because that's just more of a detailed explanation on some of the published science. But it's one of the reasons why health practitioners use us as a food intervention with their client, patient, or customer base, right? And we speak, we have their back with the prove it portion of this conversation beyond the sensibility and the smart sort of intellectual rigor around it. It's the efficacy around it. Parents get it. Moms certainly get it. They're in the business of nourishing families. And what's fun for me is to help pull athletes into the 21st century and help them catch up. Because this train has left the station. Food is a weapon, right? It's a weapon of mass destruction, but it can be a weapon of mass vitality. It's just how you choose to use it. It's a power tool in the toolkit. And so what I talk to in athletes is, are you familiar with food conditioning with plant powders? That's my little one sentence hook with athletes, because it says the what and the how. Food conditioning with plant powders, what that does over time is deliver physiological gains, micro gains that compound over time in anyone. I don't care who you are. So it's a fun way to help athletes catch up to using food as a tool, as a power tool, as what they call an ergogenic aid. That's just a fancy word for competitive advantage. So we're the number one recommended daily plant food support among health professionals. And we're, as I say, cross-functional fit food, certainly proven daily advantages for anyone, in the game of games. And so we focus and target, on supporting everyday performers. And here are two different versions of performers around just plants. And so whether it's performance and health, protection and production, we're in that game across the physiological spectrum. And that's what we've done for the last 29 years. And that's what we're going to try to be and maintain, being the best for the world in that lane. So with that, if you see the little affiliate plus at the top here, we have worked as a company with affiliates for over 29 years, before affiliate was even a word, right? Just independent contractors, but we bring a little bit more to the affiliate marketing industry than maybe is sort of normal, and that's kind of the plus part of it. And so we help people eat well and eat better with our consumables. We help people grow better. These are the number one selling residential gardening systems in the country. We help people grow well, grow better, and then we help affiliates do well by doing good. And so, when it comes to aspirations, when it comes to vehicles, attaching your dreams to, you got to attach it to some sort of vehicle. When I was introduced, I found myself, just where you are. 20 some years ago, I was brought here just like you were, and I was curious. I was looking for an advantage, but not on the business vehicle side. I was looking for an advantage just as a consumer, and that's where I entered into this conversation as a consumer. So it's a perfect place to be if that's the hat you have on today. And what I saw was an advantage just in this simple plant food. And that's how I entered into the conversation. So, aspirations need a vehicle, but as it turned out, it did become a vehicle for my family, and has provided my wife and my kids and our family a lifestyle that most people only aspire to. It's become a durable, time-tested, proven, predictable vehicle that has stood the test of time. I come out of professional sports. I come out of Wall Street and investment, money business, sports business, and the technology business. And I saw ruthless practicality in this and innovation in this, and kind of the compounding effect of doing, simple fundamentals over time, be they business fundamentals or food, diet, nutrition fundamentals. And so I was intrigued enough to say, cool, tell me more. But I was on the bench. My wife saw it as an affiliate. She took it on and started playing and having fun, right? Just as a retailer and having a good time as an affiliate. And she was having a good time and fun. She kept doing more, right? And she started paying the bills. That got my attention. She started paying the mortgage. She started paying all the bills. And then I started to pay attention and listen in. And what I learned was the innovation this company brought to bear in the market. I learned about their focus on plants. I learned how they interact and relate. And really, affiliates are their clientele. They work through affiliates, and that's all they have ever done. And empowering affiliates not only to earn income, but to have so much more between, the success side and the fulfillment side. And so what drives our affiliate success after 29 years? And affiliates are, a big industry. 60 million Americans have some sort of affiliation with companies. 80% of companies now have an affiliate option. It's big business. It's over $1 trillion in business just in terms of that affiliate income. We as a company focus on daily habits, and I call it the money bullseye. And what focusing on something daily will mean for income, I'll show you here in just a second. But the money bullseye, that daily eating problem, that conundrum around, and this is how we stack up, right? Functional food, plant food, health food, daily habits win. Daily habits win. Daily habits win over time. And these plant powders become a daily do for people in the, in the bucket of their healthy living, right? And so we as the leader in just plants and plant powders focus on a daily habit, a healthy habit, a sustainable habit. And what daily, healthy, sustainable means for affiliates is retention. And we have one of the highest retention rates in terms of goods and services in the whole industry, because people just end up equating this with like brushing their teeth. So many on the webinar today have had customers for decades, like 10, 20, 25 plus years, where their customers take it every single day. It's good for them because there's that conditioning, ongoing compounding effect, and it's also good for cash flow, right? Really good for cash flow. And what that means is, as affiliates, you get to own that recurring income that gets created every single day from that daily habit. And you really want to write that down. If you can own a daily consumer habit, think about the biggest companies in the world. The oil and gas companies, they own your gas. The streaming services, they own your entertainment. The cell phone companies, they own your communications, right? Your cable, whatever those daily dues are, right? And so we own a tiny little pieces of people's daily lives, and that's good recurring income. And what recurring income, what does that even mean? It's just leverage, man. It just gives you time, free time, where you're actually earning income without being on the clock, right? You're earning income when you're not on the clock. So that's an advantage. If you can be an affiliate where you can offer goods and services that create income and cash flow for you. And look, cash flow at the end of the day, it is the oxygen of all enterprise, of all business, of all of the affiliate world, is cash flow. And so, as I said earlier, if you can own a consumer habit, that's the cash flow. And being around habits, it's recurring income. So let's talk about some affiliate options. You can do a little with us, play with us, or you can do a lot with us, and kind of that whole spectrum. So as I introduce the physiology spectrum, this is a cash flow spectrum. And you can do a little or a lot. We have people making $300 a year with us, or $3 million a year, and everyone in between. And we welcome you, whether you do a little or you do a lot. And some people come to us with a desperate need to just have $500, $1,000 a month. Like they're coming from a place of desperation and a place of need. We've got game for you. You can turn the lights on and be going like today, right? It's literally that simple in the world of the affiliates. And then if you have fun with us and you have a good experience and you meet our community, and as my wife did, she kind of wanted to do more and step into that middle lane on that spectrum, trust it, become a partner and lock arms, start paying maybe some of your bills and covering your overhead, and do more. And so the cash flow will increase, right, as you use these business principles, as you apply what you've learned, and treat it more like a job versus a hobby or some beer money kind of thing. So we help wherever you are on that spectrum get paid for your opinion. It's kind of the bottom line. And in terms of sticking your neck out to get paid for your opinion, these are some barroom bragging rights, and we got the receipts, for all of these things. And so it gives you kind of an ability to come from a position of strength and offer tremendous value to the marketplace. And so, look, we're number one in a lot of lanes. You can see that there, with proven customer retention. And what that means is we've got your back, and you can go out now and gift this information and get paid for your opinion, and have a way to do well by doing good, as I said. So another little barroom bragging right, claim to fame, is we're number one when it comes to affiliate income with health food. In terms of generating affiliate income with health food, you may want to talk to us if you're in the world of healthy living and that's meaningful for you. We work with moms, obviously, because they nourish and nurture the family, and practitioners of all kinds. Funny thing is we're an education-based company, so educators do really well. Those that are industrious and those that want to find the road less traveled and see these business principles and want to be mentored. We have a lot of younger generation. They don't want bosses, but they want to be mentored. Cross-generation. My kids are now involved in this game. I love working with athletes and influencers to say, hey, you want to own your income? You want to own your influence versus rent your influence? And that's a whole new thing going on in the influencer and affiliate spaces. I'm renting out my influence, but I want to own it. Same thing with athletes, and we help people own their influence. So we, on that spectrum, give you a way to make me money, which I call just straight up, retailing. Everyone gets that now. That's pretty normalized way of doing business, is affiliate marketing. But we money. And that's that plus. Affiliate plus is what we call it. The plus is everything else. The plus is just beyond retailing, and even the things that aren't money related. And I'll share a few of those things in just a second. But along that spectrum, if you think about what's required along that spectrum, you can play with us. Just have a good time. And as I say, make beer money, make shoe money, make fun money, or start paying bills if you want to step into kind of more of a leadership role and learn some of these business principles. And then really where you get into meaning and fulfillment is when you pay it forward and begin to mentor young affiliates who want to do the same thing. And that brings in a business principle called revenue sharing. You can kind of get it. It says what it is. Revenue sharing means win, win. When you win, I win. I get a little override, a little win. But most people don't do that. Let me say that. Most people do not do that. So I'll kind of show you how we stack up in terms of a company. Most people that are with us, with the Juice Plus company, they just want to have fun money, and that's fine. And we love them, and we'll always have them. A smaller group want to do a little more and start paying the bills and begin to have sort of options around life. And then a select few, really want to kind of take it to the next level. And it's kind of like sport. you got recreational sport, and then you got club sport and D1 league, and then you got the pros. And that's kind of the way the world works in general, across any industry, anywhere, anytime. There's sort of a natural, but the thing about this is it's a democratized opportunity. This is a quality of opportunity. And this opportunity could give a crap on your prior life, right? Doesn't care if you got a PhD, an MD, an MBA. We got people on the right side of this cash flow that, only got their GED, right? And everyone in between. So it's really a meritocracy. And in terms of the industry, we've pulled from 5 different industries. I don't have time to unpackage them right now, but what are the best things in each one of these ways of doing business, and what are the worst things? And we've tried to cherry pick what's best and discard the rest into a modern hybrid, okay? A modern mashup that tries to take advantage of the business tools and kind of get rid of maybe some of the 20th century baggage to some of these things. So like on the corporate benefit side, I'm not familiar with another company out there that works with 1099 independent contractors that offers a full healthcare benefits package. That's part of the plus side of the conversation, right? And so just kind of in summary, as an affiliate marketing company, you can get in the game, no quotas, inventories, buying packages. It's $52 to turn the lights on with us and get going in. And what's going on in the affiliate space right now, how we've tried to advance and mature that industry, the affiliate marketing industry, is affiliates are very comfortable with coupon codes and discounts and swag. And how we're trying to grow that industry is just, you want to earn income, like you want to earn real cash flow, durable cash flow. And the novelty of discount codes and swag and those kind of things have worn off. And now that industry is looking for more. And that's the lane we play in is on the income side. And if you do not know the tax advantages of owning a healthy living gig, get with the person that invited you, because just that alone can save you thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. And then that healthcare benefits package is pretty unique. So as a pioneer and an innovator and a leader, giving affiliates a way to do well by doing good, and then offering them that other stuff. And what I mean by the other stuff, if you're into any of this stuff, if you're into a community that can mentor you, that can guide you, that you want to belong and level up together, like we're in this business, and we know that we are better together. It's an extremely collegial culture, and you won't know that unless you start hanging out with. But as a former professional athlete, I will say that we're a winning culture where you can get directly mentored by the best in the business, and many of them are on this call today. And so, just kind of in summary, for my wife and I, it's been a lifelong affiliation. But maybe for you, the income is just enough. That's all you need is the cash flow and the retailing, and you're done and you're good, and that's fine. But if you want all that other plus stuff, we certainly have an invitation for you to do more if you so choose along that spectrum. And so, kind of in summary, what I think is really the driver of our success is this focus on something simple and sensible and daily that offers a compounding effect to the consumer. It gives the affiliates recurring income. It's a timeless, fruit and vegetable consumption was a problem 5 years ago. It's going to be a problem 25 years ago or from now. It's focused. I really appreciate the focus as a company. They only have about a half a dozen products, trying to be the best for the world in those lanes. And then the culture, as I said, you put them all together, it's pretty unique. So in terms of sensibility and intellectual rigor and receipts, we've got them. So with that, I'll leave it there. I encourage you to get with the person that advised you here today, and we'll